Well, we're keeping the interviews going for another Wednesday night, Tracy. A big one tonight. 7 interviews.
I know, it's crazy night.
Or 6
tonight.
interviews.
Well,
6 interviews to
we're
get
doing
through.
a little bit of catch-up. We had a bit of a storm up here a couple of weeks ago and lost a few computers, but it's all back on deck and we're just cramming everybody in at the moment. It's fantastic.
We are. Now, I don't know much about this next gentleman, Rick Hart, but I tell you, by the name of the single Leavenhelm, I'm guessing that he must have been really influenced by the band growing up, the music, the band. Of course, everyone will be familiar with the band from the song The Weight.
Yes.
Of course, you know, and Mark Leavenhelm, of course, was the lead singer of the band. Am I summing that up pretty right there, Rick?
Yeah, you are. You are certainly in terms of one of my biggest influences. The band are certainly right up there. And Leavenhelm is such a great singer and drummer to be able to do both and do it so well.
And the style of music that we get from the sound of Rick Hart, it seems to be that very folky 70s, 80s folky sound, which isn't too far from the modern day alt country, is it?
No, yeah, I think, sort of so many different terms given to it these days, old country, Americana. It's sort of, being influenced from a lot of that sort of old style country as well as a lot of the southern rock that came out of America and so forth. Yeah, I'd certainly say that the sound is predominantly that sort of old country, with elements of folk, as you said, and there's, a lot of R&B influence in certain songs as well. So try to encompass all the influences in there where I can.
Yeah, we've spoken to you a couple of times. You've had City Lights and you've had a few different ones out there and a couple of different sounds. Are you where you want to be?
I think so. I think I'm very proud of Leavenhelm, as I was at City Lights and Spiral before that. And as you said, Tracy, they are very different. But I think that comes from having those different influences and probably as a songwriter not trying to pigeonhole myself when I do write. I try to let the song sort of dictate where it wants to go. But I think Leavenhelm probably as an overall is probably around more of the mark where, that Rick Hart sound, if you will, probably lies more in amongst that song than anywhere else.
Now, moving away just a little bit from the actual song itself, Leavon Hart, you're giving 50% of your digital sales of the EP to First Step. Can you tell us a little bit about what is First Step and what does it do? First
Step is an organisation, not-for-profit organisation based in St Kilda, which is a suburb here in Melbourne, and basically they do some great work around supporting not only alcohol addiction or victims of alcohol addiction, but also any forms of addiction, whether it be substance, whether it even be gambling and so forth. And they do some tireless work there. And I think when I sort of, Leavenhelm for me, while it is a love song and it is a song a little bit, of the heartache type elements, it was always a bit of a story about addiction and so forth. So when I sort of wrote the song and was ready to sort of release it, I sort of reached out to First Step and just see, if they'd like to come on board and allow me to sort of, I suppose, give back to a great organisation and just feel that the song, by extension, had a little bit more of a deeper meaning. It was just a really good connection, and, I've the guys out at First Step have been great and really supportive. I've done interviews on radio here in Melbourne with the CEO from First. So at this stage, Leavenhelm is hopefully the start of that little connection, and we'll look at other ways that, I can get involved and help. The cause I sort of believe quite firmly and strongly about, we all, sadly, we all either go through it ourselves or we certainly have loved ones that we see go through, the rigours and the hell of addiction. So I think hopefully it hits close to home for a lot of people, and as you said, by sort of downloading the single, half of the proceeds go straight to First Step. It is a great cause.
Well, why don't you folks, if you like the sound, why not jump on Rick's Facebook, his email, his website, jump on and see what you can do. If you like it, why not go ahead and do that and support a great organisation in firststep.org. We're going to go out with a song now, Rick. It's been great to catch up with you again. Leavenhelm is the name of the song. It's sensational sound. I think you're going to like it, folks.
Thanks, guys.